Hi there. For users of ArcGIS Urban, one of the most important pieces of data to have is information on existing households. However, not every organization has access to this data at a per parcel level. In this video, we'll explore how you can easily create a dataset of households that's generalized at a per parcel level, but in aggregate remains accurate to the most recent census data. To get started, we'll first need a dataset of building footprints that ideally includes a gross floor area or GFA value. If your building dataset does not include GFA, GFA can be estimated if the data instead includes either floor counts or building heights by using these values in conjunction with the shape area of each footprint. The next piece of data you will need is data containing either land use or zoning information. This will help us filter out buildings that are not used for residential purposes. Next, only those buildings with residential land uses should be selected using the Select by Attributes tool, and then exporting these buildings to a new feature class. If your land use data includes buildings with mixed-use designations, consider selecting only these buildings and reducing their GFA by a fixed percentage to better capture only the residential spaces within. The last piece of data we'll need is a dataset of census blocks with household data. Now let's generate some household values. First, we're going to calculate the total GFA from all residential buildings within each census block. To do so, we'll add a spatial join from our buildings to our census blocks and configure the fields so that we are joining the GFA field and summing the values from all of our buildings. Next, we'll calculate a household per meter square of GFA average for each census block. To do so, we'll add a new field, households per GFA, then use the Calculate Field tool to perform the calculation. Finally, we'll join this new data back to our buildings. First, we'll create a join in the reverse direction and bring in the households per GFA field from our census blocks to our buildings. Then, we'll create a new field for our buildings called households. Lastly, we'll use the Calculate Field tool to get a household value for each building by multiplying each building's GFA against our households per GFA value. At this stage, it's important to review your results. If a number of buildings have calculated household values of less than 1, then it's likely that they sit within census blocks where 1 or 2 large buildings are receiving a greater portion of the total households than they should. Consider reducing the gross floor area of these buildings by a fixed percentage and running the steps above again to get a better distribution. Now our data is ready to go with a weighted estimate of households for every residential building within our municipality, and we're ready to publish it to ArcGIS Online or Enterprise for use in our urban model.